Someone asks how you're doing, and you say I'm fine before you've even thought about it. Not because it's true. Not because it's a lie either. It's just the fastest way out of the question. And here's the strange part. You're not even sure what the real answer would be. If somebody stopped you and said, "No, really, how are you?" you'd probably freeze for a second. Not because you're hiding something big, but because you honestly don't know. That's what we're talking about today. Not sadness, not stress, something quieter than that. The feeling of not being able to find your own feelings anymore. If that sounds familiar, stay with me, because this is more common than you think, and there's a reason it happens. Think about your last hard day. Somebody probably asked what was wrong, and instead of an answer, you got static, a blank space where the feelings should be. So you did what you always do. You reached for the nearest word that sounded believable. Tired, busy, stressed, fine, something that closed the conversation instead of opening it. You're not lying when you say that. That's the part people don't get. It's not that you're avoiding the truth on purpose. It's that the truth stopped being clear a long time ago. Maybe you're the one everyone leans on. The calm one. The one who holds it together when things fall apart, so nobody thinks to ask if you're falling apart too. Maybe you learned early that feelings were inconvenient. That crying got you a toughen up. That being upset got you ignored, or worse, made you the problem. So you adjusted. You got good at looking okay. So good that even you stopped being able to tell the difference. Or maybe nothing dramatic happened at all. Maybe life just never stopped moving long enough for you to ask yourself the question. Work, responsibilities, other people's needs. There's always something more urgent than how am I actually doing? And after enough years of skipping that question, you lose the habit of asking it. Then you lose the ability to answer it. Here's the part that might surprise you. This isn't a flaw. It's not weakness. It's actually your mind doing exactly what it was built to do. When emotions feel like too much, or too risky, or just not useful in the moment, the brain doesn't always process them the normal way. Sometimes it puts distance between you and what you feel instead. Not to hurt you, to protect you. Distance is easier to manage than a flood. Numbness is easier to survive than constant pain. So, your mind made a trade. Less feeling in exchange for more functioning. And for a while, that trade works. You get through the day. You show up. You do what needs doing. Nobody around you notices anything is off, because on the surface, nothing is. But here's the catch nobody warns you about. Emotions you don't process don't just vanish because you stopped looking at them. They go underground. And things that go underground still move. You feel it in strange ways. A song comes on and you tear up for no reason you can name. Somebody asks a simple question and you snap, way harder than the moment called for. And then you're left wondering where that even came from. Or the opposite happens. Something huge occurs, something that should hit you hard, and you feel nothing. Just flat, like you're watching your own life from a few feet outside it. That gap between what should make sense and what you actually feel, that's the tell. That's the sign something got buried instead of dealt with. And I want to name something most people never say out loud. This isn't just about not knowing your emotions, it's about not trusting them anymore. Somewhere along the way, feelings stopped being information and started being a liability. Something that could get you laughed at, dismissed, or left behind if you showed them at the wrong time. So your mind didn't just lose the map to your emotions. It decided the map wasn't safe to carry in the first place. That's a heavier thing to sit with. But it also explains a lot. It explains why just feel your feelings sounds like nonsense advice when you've spent years training yourself not to. Quick pause. If any of this is landing a little too close, drop a comment and tell me what fine usually means when you say it. I read these, and honestly, seeing how many people relate to the exact same thing helps more than you'd think. It reminds all of us we're not the only ones stuck in this. Okay, let's keep going. Because here's where it gets interesting. You'd think the fix is to sit down and figure out exactly what you feel. Name it. Label it. Solve it like a puzzle. But that's actually where most people get stuck and give up. Because when you've been disconnected for a long time, jumping straight to what am I feeling is like asking someone who hasn't walked in years to run a marathon. The muscle isn't there yet. So the real starting point is smaller than that. It's not what am I feeling, it's what am I noticing. Right now, in your body, is there tightness anywhere? Your jaw, your shoulders, your stomach. Is there heaviness, or is there a strange kind of restlessness? You don't have to name it yet. You don't have to explain it or justify it. You just notice it, the same way you'd notice weather. Oh, that's there. Interesting, this sounds small, almost too small to matter. But this is actually how the connection rebuilds. Not through one big breakthrough where everything suddenly makes sense. Through tiny moments of just paying attention, over and over, until your mind starts to trust that it's safe to feel things again. Because remember, it went quiet to protect you. It's not going to come back just because you told it to. It needs proof that it's safe now. And if you've made it this far in the video, chances are this isn't just background noise for you. Chances are some part of this is landing because it's familiar. If it is, that's worth taking seriously, not brushing off. Consider subscribing, because we go deep into this kind of thing regularly. The parts of ourselves we don't usually talk about out loud, and it helps to have more of this in your feed instead of less. Here's something worth sitting with before we wrap up. You don't need to have this all figured out to start taking care of yourself. That idea, that you need clarity first and healing second, keeps a lot of people stuck for years. You can start before you understand everything. You can say, I don't know what this is, but something is here, and that counts. That's not a failure to know yourself. That's the first honest sentence you've said in a while. If you felt distant from yourself lately, disconnected, foggy, unsure what's actually going on underneath the surface, that distance didn't appear out of nowhere. It got built, piece by piece, as a way to survive something. Maybe a lot of somethings. So there's no need to be harsh with yourself about it. You did what worked at the time. But maybe it doesn't have to keep working that way. Maybe the version of you that just gets through the day has done enough getting through. And maybe now, slowly, in small, unglamorous moments of just noticing what's there, you get to come back to yourself. That's not something that happens in one video, or one day, but it starts somewhere. It might as well start here. If this resonated with you, there's more where this came from. We'll see you in the next one.